Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Azabi here, back again with Squid Game. We are on episode 3, and in the last episode it was an interesting one, because it was an episode outside of the game, focused on all of the different main characters, and we start to get their sort of motivations and reasons behind, why they're in the position that they're in, and why they're going for the money and everything like that at the end of the episode, why they go back in. And it was a really good sort of decision story-wise. I mean, I was expecting the game to just go on, because obviously I didn't know the ins and outs of, would they actually let them go and everything. I wasn't expecting that, and also, like, how are they going to get invited back in, so, But now that we know that, that can happen and everything like that, in hindsight, it's just a very good story decision, because we get the motivations and everything and the backstory of the characters that, we're going to be obviously spending our time with the rest of the games, and now we care about them a hell of a lot more, which means that these upcoming games are going to be very stressful, I imagine, pretty sketchy. And because the thing is that like all of them, I don't really want to die. The only one that I don't really have an affinity for is Joksu, because his motivations are kind of like, you know what I mean, like not something you can really get on board with or empathize with, whereas the other ones are more about like family, and then aside from like obviously the old guy, but he obviously doesn't have any family, at least that we know of. And he's just on his way out. He doesn't want to just drift away into death. He wants to do this, and go back into the game. So you can even empathize with the old man in that regard. But with Joksu, it's not as kind of clear cut as that. He's obviously in the underworld, and it could be a thing of like, if he grew up on the streets, he never really had a chance, so he's always had to fight for everything, and that's why he's grown up the way that he has. But I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in the coming episodes we actually get some like redeeming factor with him. That's, we'll just have to wait and see on that. A couple of things as well that I kind of fluffed in the first two episodes, or at least first of all, the episode 1, the front man, so the guy with the angular mask, he spoke English, and I didn't pick up on it. I couldn't believe it, because I was editing the video and I noticed it, and I was like, I didn't pick up on that when I was watching it. And I think the reason for that was because when I'm watching subtitles, I'm kind of honed in on like what they're saying through the subtitles, so I've got less attention on hearing exactly like how they're pronouncing stuff or anything like that. So I think when it just randomly came out the blue that the guy was speaking English, I guess I didn't really, it just didn't catch my attention. So that was the reason why. But it brings up some interesting points that I'll probably talk about in the post-discussion, because I don't want to spend too long in the pre-discussion talking about it. But the other thing was the other guy who spoke was, the red sort of suits guys, the one guy that spoke. I think it was the same one anyway, the two times that he spoke. Like, his inflection of his voice sounds different to other ones, and I'm wondering if he's not even Korean, whoever he is behind the mask. So I don't know. It's just because it's on an island and we don't know where the island is located. You have to assume that it's at least close to Korea, but it just brings up questions as to who is actually behind this whole thing and if they are Korean or not. But that's interesting. The other thing as well that I just completely fluffed was, I talked a lot about the idea that I thought that the previous game must have ended, like it must have gone and finished, but I completely took I must have read the subtitles the wrong way, because I was thinking that they actually allowed the people who voted for the game to continue continue the game, whereas in reality that's not what happened. Like, everyone got dismissed, and when he was saying that we will offer like another opportunity or whatever if you do want to come back, like they left the doors open, that was in regard to sending the card, like another card back, which happened at the end of episode 2, right? So that's what that meant. So yeah, it's basically all of the at least previous participants will be back. I doubt everyone will be back, but who knows, we'll see, because there was 201, right? So we'll see what happens when we get back. There could be some new people coming in as well, but we will find out. So yeah, I mean, other than that, it's that's pretty much like all I've got as well. Also, I do want to talk about, I'll do it in the post discussion I think, but the different masks have different, like obviously they have the squares and the triangles and circles, and I think they are for different jobs and of what they do and everything. But I will talk about that, in the post discussion. But yeah, I think we'll stop rabbiting on and get into episode 3. So yeah, as always, the reaction will be here on YouTube, but if for whatever reason it gets taken out for copyright in the future, I will re-upload this as a discussion only, and a link to the reaction will be in the description below. As always, the link to the full length will be in the description below as well. So if you do want to watch this episode in full, then the offer is there for you. The link to the next episode will be down there for early access as well, if you don't want to wait another week for the next episode. But anyway, yeah, that's all I've got. So we're going to get in episode 3 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Right, so they all get shipped off in the same boat. He's not going to hold on to the bottom of the car, is he? God, those guys in the masks are oblivious. What was that? Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind.
What the hell? Oh god, that's not going to come up right, is it? Oh fuck, he can go under the skies if he gets... I didn't think about that! Proper solid snake in this thing. I guess it's more Hitman really, innit? Have they been chipped or something? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they've been like knocked unconscious the first time round, so who knows what they've done, you know? But cool. Oh fuck, dude! You're just gonna kill him! I didn't really see what that was that she dropped in there. Oh, right, so she can keep it. Ah, right, yeah, knife, nice.
왔어? 안 올 줄 알았는데.
그렇게 됐다. 생명의 은인.
사장님,
My angel.
나왔으니까 말인데 군대처럼 우리끼리 한번 뭉쳐서 해보는 건 어때?
맞아. 앞으로 무슨 게임을 하게 될지도 모르고.
Yeah, there might actually be team games. I didn't even think about that.
그룹을 형성하는 게 유리할 거야.
괜찮으면은
Yeah, get in there.
끼워주겠나?
그럼요.
돌아오지 않은 자들은 계속 모니터링하고 동향을 보고해.
그저 여태까지 한 걸로 보면은 옛날에 어린애들이 하던 놀이 중에 하나가 아니겠어?
딱지치기, 다방구, 땅 따먹기, 비석치기, 술래잡기, 돈가스, 얼음땡.
Turned it the wrong way. Oh god.
화장실 좀 보내달라고! 화장실만 잠깐 보내달라는데 그게 뭐가 어려워? 아니 그럼 여기 남자들 천진데 여기서 바닥에 싸?
정해진 시간 외에는 숙소 밖으로 나갈 수 없습니다.
Oh my god.
이발 그럼 내가 니들이 정한 시간에만 오줌 마렵냐? 나도 가.
Okay. Oh, she smuggled something in. Oh god. Oh, cigs. Okay. Okay, right. I was wondering how the hell she was going to end up getting in the vents. Thing is, everything's so regimented. If someone's missing, I just feel like it'll go into like lockdown, and then they'll have to, you know what I mean? Like they'll send out a search party or whatever. God. This woman is so extra. What are the? Is that like gelatin?
뭐 봤냐고? 내일 얘기해. 뭘 또 내일 얘기해? 지금 얘기해. 야, 봤냐고?
It looked like
냄새가 났어.
it looked like gelatin to me. Like they were trying to.
설탕 냄새. 설탕 냄새?
I wonder what the coughing was about. Might be a way for him to recognize a certain somebody, because obviously they're not allowed to take their masks off, right? So.
어젯밤에 어떤 여자랑 하는 얘기 들었어요. 얘기해봐요. 뭐 봤는지. 딱지치기, 무궁화꽃, 이놈들이 시키는 게임들 다 내가 어렸을 때 하던 놀이예요. 다음 게임도 분명 그런 걸 확률이 높아요.
I don't know what the title, like the man with the umbrella means yet.
게임을 시작하기 전에 각자 앞에 보이는 네 가지 모양 중 하나를 선택하여 그 앞에 서주세요.
동그라미, 삼각형,
And just
우산.
umbrella. Okay.
설탕을 녹이고 있었어.
Oh, that's the kid from the first episode, the very beginning. So that was Sang Woo at the beginning of that. What's that about?
우리 팀 다 같이 움직일까?
그건 위험할 수도 있어. 아직 뭘 시킬지도 모르는데. 내가 삼각형으로 갈게. 나해라.
어?
나해라.
Circle.
아 동그라미. 아 그럼 제가 우산 오죠 뭐.
우산? 왜?
내가 어릴 때부터 우산을 잘 잃어버린다고 엄마한테 많이 혼났잖아. 그래서 나중에
So what's the
엄마가
reason?
망가진 우산만 줬어.
기훈이 형. 아니야.
Don't understand. What is this all about? What is this game? Yeah, I wonder what the losing parameters are for this.
이제 케이스를 열어 안을 확인해 주세요.
How was he given the piece of paper? How like, maybe you have to remove the shape? If so, that sucked for the umbrella, dude.
본인이 뽑아야 할 모양입니다.
Yeah, oh my... Fuck! Why did Sang-woo not tell him? Why did he not tell him? Yeah, triangle's the easiest one, isn't it? So it's called honeycomb then. Jesus, the umbrella's so hard! That is so hard! Even the circle's quite hard as well, because it's, with it being round, it's like... Oh, that sucks! That is so tough! I can't believe Sang-woo didn't tell him. Oh, no!
한 번만. 제발 한 번만 더.
Jesus! Down the slide as well. Oh, come on! Hell. It's just like proper execution style as well. Ah, nice. That's smart. You're just melting it again. That's, yeah, nice. Nice. That's close. That's really close. Alright, Ali's through.
29번. 왜 벌써 들어왔지? 죄송합니다. 착각했습니다. 게임이 끝날 때까지 여기서 대기해. 뭘 착각했는지 그때 들어보지.
Fuck. Jesus.
왼쪽.
He has somebody on the inside. That's the tough bit. That's so hard. That sucks. That's Sang-woo through. I feel like wet it a bit, it like could probably, you know, sink through better. Weaken the integrity of it. God. Ugh. Nice. How perfect that is. They're gonna be looking at it and think, God. Oh, damn.
69번 성공. 70번 성공.
Okay. She actually helped him out. Look at it. What is he doing? Alright, let's Jok Soo through. Nice. Nice. I was down to the fucking wire with Gion. God! Trying to take it out that way is not. Oh. Down to the last second.
56번 성공.
Whew. Nope. Fucking hell, he was so close as well. Oh shit! Oh man!
야이 개새끼들아! 진짜 죽여버릴 거야.
Oh god!
가면 벗어. 빨리 벗어.
Yeah, just a kid, yeah. Bloody hell. All of them are probably kids. Jesus!
우리가 누군지 알게 되면 죽는다.
Well, yeah, but the one who saw him was dead, so there was no witnesses.
뭘 착각했는지 그때 들어보지.
Oh, no way! Cool. He's got an extra disguise now. Okay, episode 3, The Man with the Umbrella. So, we did eventually get the reason as to why it was actually called that at the end there with the game. In terms of the game, like, itself, it definitely wasn't as, like... I don't think it was, like, as enthralling, because basically it's just removing a shape from the honeycomb. You know, but fucking hell, like, it was so much, like, more brutal in terms of the killing, because it was pure just execution style, as opposed to being shot from, you know, a sniper. I mean, it's neither they're not great ways to go, you know, but just the fact that it was pure execution style was, yeah, that was brutal, man. And the poor guy at the end as well ended up killing himself because he couldn't, like, I mean, like, he couldn't bring himself to fucking, you know, to shoot a kid, and the kid ended up dying anyway. But it's just, oh, man. Also, that kid was not fazed at all. He got shot, and he was not fazed. So they all must be like that then. All, like, I imagine all of them are kids that this, like, whoever's behind the whole thing have clearly used, like, the kids to do, because it takes, like, the morality out of it. I imagine, like, they've probably sort of indoctrinated these kids from a young age so that they don't have that sort of moral conscience, which can, you know, obviously deter them from killing people. Ah, man. So yeah, I mean, fucking hell, like, where do I start? Like, I can't believe Sang-woo just didn't why didn't he tell him? The only reason I can think of is that Sang-woo believes that there's only one standing at the end, and therefore at some point, if he's to win, then Gi-hun has to die. But that's just like, that's just cold, man. That was really cold. Because he even took the, like, because, you know, Sang-woo even took the easiest one, the triangle, right? I would be surprised if anyone who actually chose the triangle actually lost, because that's just the easiest one. Because everything, like, the more edges something has, the harder it is. You know, and because the triangle is, like, legitimately, like, straight lines, it's easy to break off without destroying the integrity of the shape itself on the inside. So the umbrella sucks. Like, that really, really sucks. Like, I generally believe the only way you could have actually pulled that off is by doing, you know, a sort of a off the cuff, like, kind of thinking outside the box method, like, you know, licking it away so that it melts. Or doing what, shit, I didn't write down a fucking number, I should have. I think it's like, what, 212 or something? The other woman who obviously used the lighter to heat up the pin or the needle, whatever it is, and, you know, melted away like that. I feel like with the umbrella, it's, like, pretty much, like, the only way to do it, because once you start getting into those, like, kind of grooves, like, at the bottom of the umbrella, that's the hardest bit, you know. And also that, obviously, the bottom of the umbrella, where the sort of, like, the bottom, like, the handle is. So yeah, damn it, man, damn, Sang-woo, why? You see, the thing is that I had it in my head that, like, I'm almost, like, he's almost at, like, the top of my list that I want to root for, you know, because, you know, if you know me, I love, like, smart characters and everything like that. So, you know, like, he kind of just fits into that bill and I felt really sorry for him. And obviously, he's a really decent bloke, you know. So for that to happen is like sucks. But yeah, everyone got through, all of the like the characters that we know, and whatnot. Yeah, that number 212, or that woman, whatever her number is, actually did end up helping out Joksu, which was a surprise. I guess like they're going to have to be in a team at this point. Speaking of teams, yeah, so the to obviously work together. Something I didn't actually consider is the fact of, yeah, there might be actual team games. That, although that would be surprising. You know, I guess it could be for, like, you know, a team losing. It puts in, like, I guess it would be interesting actually, because it would put it like a real sort of interesting spin and sort of drama within a group if, you know, because of one person you end up losing or something like that, you know. I mean, it doesn't really matter at that point anyway because they're dead. So in terms of, like, you know, characters who have, you know, like a score to settle within a group, that probably all die anyway. But that would put an interesting spin on like the whole game thing if there's actual team games in there. And yeah, I don't know if, I mean, I assume that, I mean, Gi-hun can't be that stupid to think that, like, you know, I mean, what's he going to say to Sang-woo next? I don't know, but I just, fuck. Right, so I think we'll go on to Detective Hwang. So he ended up following them, and he did actually end up getting in, which you know, again, I was shocked that no one saw that he was following them. He got in there, ended up taking out one of the circle guards, and then tossing the guy overboard, so just killing him straight off the bat, which was a surprise. He's kind of like going a bit vigilante with it, I suppose, you know, because that, I mean, you know, I know it's like getting rid of evidence kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want a guard that's been kind of just like knocked out there, and then obviously, you know, they would end up finding Detective Hwang in the end. But yeah, that was pretty cool. The guy that he took the suit and mask off as well actually did look quite like him, which helped. And if we're to believe that there are kids underneath these things, then it just makes it that much harder. But that kind of having children actually on the other side of it, so it's adults playing the games and the children are kind of like, I say children, like, he's a kid, but like he's not a child. You know, probably like teens or whatever, but like to have them on the side of, like, you know, holding the guns and everything like that, and being able to kill them off while the adults play the games is a weird one. I can't believe the guy just killed him because there was no witnesses. Like, you know, if they see you, it's over kind of thing. It's like, well, that's only the case if like they're alive to tell the tale kind of thing. But the fact that he was the one guy killed himself and he was dead, there was no one to, you know. Although I suppose there is something like, if they see you, it's all over, like, kind of thing. That could be in regard as well to in between, like, staff members, because if, like, you know, the whole rule of, like, you're not allowed to take your mask off outside of the room, it's probably like, you know, the staff members can't see each other either. I think that's probably a way for the higher ups to keep sort of control over the group, because if you get, like, people within the staff, like, mingling and everything like that, like being friendly with each other, you don't know what they could, you know, like what they could conjure up kind of thing. So that's interesting, which is obviously why I talked about the you know, the fact that Hwang heard a guy coughing. So if you know, that's something that you can't really hold back if it's a problem, if it's an issue, which means that even out in the field, when he's doing his job or whatever, to hold a cough in, probably not going to be able to. But that's a way that Hwang can identify, and I don't know how that'll help Hwang in the long run, but I feel like that a cough, I don't know why they would have put it there if it meant nothing, you know. So yeah. each of the participants as well have I don't know, like they're chipped, I suppose, by their ear. It seems that way. Like even the code like reader thing that the guy used on the back of Detective Huang, like the fact that the suit was over it and the code reader was still able to pick up like who it's supposed to be, is a surprise as well. And with like all of them on numbered as well, which was was interesting. Like it's taken out any emotional sort of thing from the fact that obviously they need to kill them and everything like that. It's taken the humane side of it away and just basically making everybody numbers. So with Kang Se, so she brought in a knife. I thought it was basically just for protection or whatever, but she has used it to effect of getting into the vents and whatnot. Now that has happened just once. I don't know if this is going to be a recurring thing for her. It did end up helping out in the end that melting sugar they knew beforehand. So it did end up helping out in the long run. Specifically with Sang-woo. There's 187 that came back, so yeah, I mean there was 14 that didn't choose to come back, and the front man actually ended up saying like keep an eye on them. So I don't know what that really entails. I guess it's just like to bring them back in the future or whatever. If things get worse for them, kind of and they become more desperate to get them back in. Yeah, so in terms of the guards, and the specific shape that they wear, what I've gathered is that the squares are the top of the three, and they are basically like supervisors almost, and they're the ones that generally speak to the participants, to the players. The triangle guards are gun holders. I mean, well, the square dude like held a gun as well. But the triangle ones are generally, they seem to be the more like sort of like security, the security lot who hold the MP5s or whatever they've got there, and the circle ones seem to be the bottom of the rung, and just like everyday like cleanup crew or cooking or whatever, basically all of the lower end jobs. So one of the guys, I really should be writing down numbers, man, of these players, because one of the guys got some pink paper in his bun, whatever it is that they were eating, and he was directed a different direction after the game, which is interesting. I don't know what that means. I did say like, what does that mean? He's got somebody on the inside or what? Because I'm sure it wasn't like Detective Huang. But then if that is the case, if he's got somebody on the inside, then how did he manage that? Like, that's an interesting sort of thing. If he's managed to sort of befriend or have a friend on the inside who can like assist him in any way that he can in terms of the games, I guess to get the money at the end, and then they can both sort of share it or something like that. I don't know, but like, I don't know how they go. Like, how would you go about befriending one of the soldiers? I think the idea that they are like the fact that they are who they are almost takes any form of like ability to befriend them like impossible. Like, I don't know how. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. It's weird, isn't it? But obviously, I'm sure that obviously that will, come back, and then we'll end up finding out eventually. But it is definitely interesting. So not Sang-woo, Detective Huang now has a square disguise, so that's great. It ended up working out very well for him. Now he's got two. So I'm guessing like he can chop and change and switch between them. I think actually, really, it's probably best off that he keeps the square one and just uses that one from now on, because the fact is, when he's a circle guard, it's kind of like, you know, doing these, you know, shitty kind of jobs and everything like that. Like, if he's a square, he can basically get away with doing nothing, which is, you know, essentially what he wants to be doing. You know, because he's there for detective work, not to fucking not do the job for him, right? So yeah, we'll see if he just keeps using the square one. It may end up being the case that he actually goes and ends up seeing the front man as well, because it seems like the only one to interact with the front man is the squares. So yeah, they'll be like, for him getting close to the front man will be interesting. You know, but it's mad because we're on episode, like, we've just watched episode 3, right? I think there's 8 episodes, so, you know, and there's still 4 more games to go. What is Detective Huang going to be doing? Because I imagine they're not gonna, surely for, like, I don't know, like the story's sake, they're not gonna stop. Like, they're not gonna not show all of the games, right? I would be surprised if they didn't actually get to like the 6th game, or, you know, at least, you know, because Detective Huang, he can't just hang around fucking for all of this to take place. You know what I mean? I mean, he's police after all, so he's got to, like, yeah, I don't know. And also, has he not been looking around? Like, you know, you would think that because he was looking for his brother, right, that he would recognize. And we haven't gotten any of that yet, so I don't know. I don't know, because maybe if that is the case, then maybe Detective Huang and that one guy who got the little piece of pink paper that told him the game on it, maybe that is his brother, and we just didn't see, like, everything leading up to that. If that is the case, then I think that's a bit. I don't think that's great writing wise. It could, because, or at least just the way that it was showed, because it's not very obvious if that is the case, right? And I feel like for something like that, that's what it should be. But I feel like that would probably make sense, because, like I said, like, I don't see how you could befriend anybody, like, you know, from players to soldier. I don't think you can. I don't know how that would happen. So I guess it would make sense that would be the only reason that he managed to get the piece of paper, if it was Detective Huang specifically. So yeah, but then see, that's another thing. Like, you have to give him specifically the one that has the pink piece of paper in it. So how did that bun get into his hands? I don't know, man, dude. God, I need more answers. I really do. Yeah, I think I've pretty much gone through everything there. I don't think there's anything else I really need to talk about. But yeah, so game 2 is finished. Everybody that we know survived this one, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens next time. So yeah, I mean, with 5 episodes remaining, I assume it's probably going to be 1 game an episode. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the next game is. I did not know anything about this game at all. You know, so yeah. I think that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below, I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get yourself over there if you wish. And I also have a Patreon page as well, so if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards there, like early access, for example, for this show. Once this is out on YouTube for the public, and you'll know because you're watching it now, you can go and get access to episode 4 right now. It's available on my Patreon for the early access, as well as other shows that I do as early access. There's the full length tier, which gives you access to the full length reactions to all of the shows that I watch, and then there is the exclusive tier, which gives you access to full length movie reactions and everything like that. So if you do want access to the full length movie reactions, that's the one for you. But that is all I've got, so thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.